right, we're standing at the Iguana Creek Bridge, Jerry, and from afar we can see the team approaching. I guarantee.
Yeah, Harry, it's niche. It is niche. And
How much do you want to bet that it's not niche?
I would bet you a house.
I won't bet. Because I think it's niche.
Oh, no, I noticed, Javier. It is niche, but I noticed you don't have your glasses on.
No, I don't.
All right, well, you need to get your glasses on. We have Niche coming up, guys. Niche is the team that moved away from the other two team at the ferry. And now it's been over an hour and change ahead of those guys. It's not an hour change in time gap, but an hour change from since we last saw them. To me, they look like they have a well commanding pace. It looks like over 3 minutes from where they enter the curve to this bridge. It looks like a 5 minutes or so gap.
Definitely, the gap looks terrible. When I say that, it is spaced. And these guys look very fresh to me, Jerry. You will explain to us in just a little bit exactly how they feel. If you notice, the sun is out now. We have a little bit more heat. But you know what? To me, those guys are paddling very, very fast and strongly.
Yeah, Javier, that team just went by. That's Niche. Three of my good friends in that boat, Ephraim Cruz, Felix Cruz, and Neko. Everybody know who Neko is. That's their younger brother from Ephraim. They look well comfortable. The sun is out. This is what they asked for. The water is low. Those guys were showing a lot of strength from day one in 2019. If I'm not making mistake, they won all the race coming up to La Ruta Maya. A lot of people like say, oh, if you win all the race coming to Ruta Maya, you normally they lose Ruta Maya. But as these guys just went by, the looks on these guys' face, they're hungry.
Well, to me, they look very strong. And like I said, look, Jerry, a little while ago, we mentioned that the sky was overcast. And you know what? It's clearing up a little bit. We have some puffy clouds, yes. But the sun is peeping now. Therefore, we have more heat. How do these guys feel at this moment?
The guys in front, they're right now, if we noticed just a while ago, they pick up their service. You know, this is a service point. If they do everything right, like drinking a lot of fluid, you know, keep their body hydrated. The other guys in the back, the other two teams chasing, it's going to be very hard for them because Javier, these guys passed this bridge about 2 minutes now. And there's just coming around the curve. A lead like this, Javier, is about 10 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes. So, I don't know.
I know, I can understand that the gap is very, very big. These guys are going to take a long time before they get to this point. And you know what? Niche is gone. But I just still want to ask you, yes, they have to hydrate and all that. But in their canoes right now, how do they feel knowing that they have that gap and they're still paddling? It's getting hot, it's a little bit humid. Are they weak? Well, I don't mean weak as if cannot be paddling, but they're weakened.
Yeah, the punch that Niche put on the other two team chasing, it is dangerous for them because at a gap that these guys have on this team right now, it is breaking down the morale for the chasers. For Niche, they just need to maintain, and I think they could make it in very, very easy. For the team chasing, they got a lot of work cut out. They have to work hard. They have to pay attention to their rehydration. And it's gonna be a big thing for them because remember, you're working and you don't want to stop to eat, you don't want to stop to drink, and that's where the factor comes in that you start losing your strength, you start get cramps, all these things start to play out.
But tell me something, Jerry. If you're paddling and paddling and paddling, and you decide, you know what, let us stop, and stop by the riverside and eat something. When you take off again, is it not worse?
Yeah. Well, with the race, you can't stop at the riverside. One guy from the team will go down. Most naturally, it's going to be the guy in the middle. He's going to go down. He's going to get the food, and he's going to dispatch the food for the guy in the front and the guy in the back. And meanwhile, he's doing this. He have to eat also. When he's finished, he's going to go back up paddling, and then one of the other guys is going to stop. That's going to be the guy in the front. He's going to stop and get his food. When he get his food, he's going to get it, eat it, or drink it, or whatever he got to do, and do it quick and get back up so the guy in the back can do the same thing. It's a repeat process you have to do.
So what you're saying is that you alternate the paddling while one eats, the other one rests, and so forth. And that's how you win this race. And the other teams are coming very closer now. If you notice, one took the left of the river and the other one took the right of the river, Jerry. Why are they doing that?
The guy who took the guy who took the right of the river, that's the fastest lane. You know, the guy who went left, they shouldn't have went left. If I was in that canoe, they're a student of me. They shouldn't have been there. They were together, now they have to chase to try to catch. Everything you see right here today makes a difference. That little gap they put, that little gap is a big difference, because you have to work to get that gap back. So that's the thing. You have to read the river. That's it. When you have a good bow paddler, you have to read the river. You have to pay attention to every detail out here, because every stroke counts.
Burn box and be informed. And if you notice, burn box took the right of the river and they actually took the lead going to the right, as you said. And you know what, Jerry, I think they took about 6 minutes. Niche is ahead about 6 minutes only.
Yeah, Javier, you know, that's 6 minutes, a 6 minute head gap on this Rhonda Maya. No, mistake, it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, that's a big lead. I don't think, and I'm not going to say I'm ghosting out the other guys. I don't think they can catch that back. They're not going to make that grounds. 2 minutes or a minute and a half you could work with. There's time for that, but not 4 minutes.
I can understand that, Rhonda. What we're trying to say is that Niche comfortably took the lead, and there's nothing in the world that can get them to lose that lead, according to what Jerry is saying.
You know, I wish all the teams well. And I would imagine that right now Niche is feeling confident and comfortable. But you have to recognize that this is a race. And you know what? Their seat could rock. Something could happen, their arm could sprain, God forbid, but I'm just saying, this is a race.
I was going to ask you that question, though.
You said nothing in the word.
And I see these boom boys, I know these boom boys have their own motor bill inside of their spirit.
Yeah, well, you know what, we are competing, kami da kayo boy too. And I will fight to me kayo boy ni.
But you need to fight, kayo boy need to fight by the river.
And even though Jared of a boom, man, okay. You understand? But anyway, Jer, I'll ask you this question, because you are the best I know of. Tomorrow is the longest leg. And even though Niche is, let's say, 4 minutes ahead, we still cannot guarantee that win tomorrow.
No, the win is win. The win is a win when they get in Belize, Javier. The race is not finished until you get that line in Belize, and then you know you win. Tomorrow, I could almost predict tomorrow, if everything goes with that 4 minutes and 20 seconds, Niche going to ride with the guys tomorrow. They're not going to work. I would sit with those guys and go in for a photo finish for the fans. We got all these people on the riverside. We got to make that entertainment for them, because we're not only paddling out here for a win or for the you know, that gruesome paddling for Rhonda Maya. We got everybody have a fan base, and we got niche fans. We got what's the boom boy fan like you.
Would you compete if you would have that lead? Would you remain behind, and would you sprint and share prizes as you go by along the way for tomorrow's finish?
Tomorrow's finish, Niche can do that. I would stay with the team tomorrow if the race should stop right now and Niche have a 4 minute gap on that's overall lead. Niche can paddle with those guys tomorrow and share station prize. We have the first mixed team, Weststruck
Team Lucas, Weststruck, they're the first mixed team. This team is powerful. This team is that. When you see that woman in the middle, she looks like peaceful, quiet, but don't get her in the water. She and her husband are in there. They're doing a phenomenal job in this race.
Rhonda, that first mixed team, when we were at Esperanza Village, they were behind about 8 or 9 canoe behind, and now they're in 4th place. So that show you the ground that they make up. Javier, it's awesome when you see a young team like that. Well, it's not a young team; it's one of the fastest mixed team in Belize. You know, so you don't. If everything was played out the way it's supposed to play out, and they had a good start. I know they have a bad start this morning, so that's the reason they're there. But if everything would have played out the way it played out, they would have been right up there with those guys.
That's right. That's Weststruck and Team Lucas. Again, let me tell you something, man. The sun is already out, and it's getting really hot. At the end of the day, I guarantee you that Man, I don't know, Jerry. It's not easy to be in a canoe, even though it's very early. Yet the sun will be telling and having a toll on you, I'm very sure, up to this time.
Yeah, and Javier, you know, it's not easy to be in the canoe, but with a gap that Niche have, it is very easy to be in the canoe. Just imagine, last year they lose the crown by Coupe Street Metal. So I was watching some of Niche fans. They were like looking around and say that's payback. But it actually is not payback. It's just hard work and determination. And those guys are out there doing that.
I was teasing Jerry Martinez because he said that he's going to leave the trophy for somebody else to win and give them a chance. I said, I am sorry that the Belize Bank could not afford a team this year.
Team Shibalba passing here right now. I mean, there's a lot of politics, if you want to call it that, going on within this race. It's entertaining. But we see the first Masters passing here. We see Armin. Armin is the guy that holds the most championship for the Rutamaya race.
Totally right. The big champion, Jerry. He was your competitor. He was there when he was in his prime. You were the young boy coming up and giving him blasted hell. You used to get a man hell at that time. Remember those days?
Yeah, I remember those days, you know, when Armin knows Jerry is up front, or I know Armin is up front, it's work, it's tense. You know, I remember a year that I passed here, Armin with Tyreek Thompson, the guy in the Boom Boys team, the guy in the middle. That was his first race, and I got a fair lead, I got a good jump, and I get away from Armin for a 2 minutes gap. And when we have Vanilla Hills here.
In seventh position. Vanilla Hills, the seventh canoe to pass here at the Spanish Lookout Bridge. But let's go back to the West Track team. The West Track team has the Cobb family in there. We have Clayton Cobb, Melanie Cobb, and Eric Cano. Actually, the Cobb Cano team, Cano family in there. And I tell you, Melanie is definitely a force to be reckoned with. We have to say Happy Women's Day to all the women, but right now I want to say Happy Women's Day to Melanie from West Track team.
I go with you, Rhonda. I give women all the praises and all the respect. You know, I hope that Belize can hear us, and we men, Jerry, need to hold back a little bit and give those women what they're due in this world, man. Because you know what? A lot of times we really don't give them what they deserve. I'm not saying you and I, but we're men, and we have to concede to that.
Some men doesn't give the women what they deserve. And we have
young cutters passing there. Then we have Kana.
That's Kana that just passed by there. Their heads are all painted. Yeah, I like that attitude, man.
Yeah, those guys go all out, Javier. They paint their hair. They try to. I think it's supposed to be a prize for those guys, man. For the most. Rhonda, what would you call it, Rhonda?
Innovation.
Totally right. It's very innovative. Which team do we have here?
Wine Smith Limited. Is that
those are three brothers, though. Those are three brothers in that canoe. I knew the guys. I don't remember their name, but you know, hanging around these paddlers, you can't remember all their names. And we have the next mixed team here. Valvoline. Just that's the second place mix. We have Print Belize, and we have
Atlantic Insurance.
And now Print Belize, Atlantic Insurance, and now Print Belize.
Yeah, Print Belize lose some grungs just now. They went there for a survey. They lose some grungs, but that's normal.
You know what? They're in a better position. You know why? Because they're competing in their own category. They're definitely not competing against Atlantic Insurance.
And that's first place already for them.
Second, because we had the first Masters. We had Armin that go ahead of them.
Did Armin have? You sure Armin have full Masters in that canoe?
I see only man in there.
It's not only men. We have to have older men. We have to check that team.
Oh, well, we'll check it right now for you. But definitely yes. Normally, I think it is. The Print Belize is normally leading in their category, but I think they found some competition. Finally start show up their way. Everybody they get all, you know.
I like how you say it, competition. And we have another team passing by. That's a Rima Boys. And then of course we have the Coast Guard Titans. And I have here Javier Canul with me. Javier Canul is also known as Ozzy. That's right. Tell me, Javier, what are you doing? I notice you have on a Bicol t-shirt, long sleeve up. What's going on today?
Well, actually, I'm being sponsored by BCOL to do a support as a medic on the entire route, whether it's accidents on the road or somebody's in the water who is cramped up or needs some kind of assistance. That's my role. I'm playing a floating medic, sponsored by BCOL.
So do you have a workstation or how are you doing it?
Well, basically, I'm following the race. And people would come to me and ask me for help and that sort of thing. And also, I'm doing in the capacity of my company called ABC Life Support.
Very good.
That's a very, very important role this guy is playing. You know, you don't have to move. You know, the first time my daughter saw Harvey the clown, she almost killed herself.
I was listening to the conversation a bit. Jerry here was mentioning that people need to rehydrate. It's not only rehydration, they have to eat. Because you can drink a lot of water, but when you sweat, you burn out salt and water. So what do you need to put in? If you drink water, you need to put in back the salt. So you need to be eating. Or you might be drinking electrolytes with Gatorade and that sort of thing. But food is one of the things that the body needs for it to gather back its strength. Because drinking the fluid will just flush out, but the food, the body will take time to generate it and restock back the muscles that the body needs.
All right, and Harris Boys just passed by a little while ago too. Harris Boys just passed under the bridge going towards towards Banana Bank.
Harris boys don't look like they're working too hard. They're setting their pace back to the rehydration thing. You know, when you're out there doing the race, you take a lot of fluid, and you take the food that the paddlers they take on the canoe. If this goes down to the fine print, you can't take a lot of load. So what they done, what the sporting industry done, they put mini package in where they sell. You know, like bars. You know.
All right, Jerry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut for now, and we're gonna get back as quickly as possible.